work here, and we do the majority of the astronaut training here, as well as we're the lead center for the International Space Station Mission Control. We also have all the astro materials here. So the lunar samples that were brought back from the moon, the Mars meteorites that are collected in Antarctica, and the solar wind and comet particles that were collected on the Stardust and Genesis missions are kept here. But the whole facility is called the Craft Junior Mission because so they're actually doing the restoration.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yes.
Awesome.
And we've had people living up there for over 18 years as of November 1st, November 2nd.
That's how long people have been going up and living
Yes.
there for 18 years now.
So any children, any kids that you know that a lot of people don't realize that. They have a stationary bicycle. This what this is here. And there he is lifting weights. They've just gone into a sunset. So you can't really, one that's in charge of the power for the space station and the external thermal. Ethos sitting across the aisle from them is the environmental thermal operating system. The scheduler is ops planner up here. They schedule each crew member's day down to 5-minute increments. So he's looking at, there's 6 lines. The grayed out part is what they've completed. Let's see. So the people that work in this room are actually engineers, and it could be any kind of engineering. The surgeon obviously is a medical doctor. The biomedical engineer here is assistant to the surgeon again in 47 minutes. So they have to determine whether they can wait and being accepted by the onboard computers. The blank white space in the top is for cautions and warnings, and we like it to be empty like that.
Right.
If there's yellow or, God forbid, red up there, then that's bad. Same part of the Earth. So we've got one over here and we've got one down here. There's one over here that we can use if we need it. But typically, we don't try to use 3 because other people are using them as well,
Right.
like your DirecTV, Dish, and other communications, Department of Defense, all those. So we actually have to share time on the satellites with everybody else. ISO is pretty important. That's the Inventory and Stowage Officer. If you can imagine living in an apartment for 6 months and then you're going to leave, but you have 1 week where you have new people coming in and you have to show them where everything is.
Right.
So they're the ones that are supposed to know where everything is put. Everything's supposed to be put back in its place.
Right.
Everything is barcoded. You still wear those sometimes, some of them do. Usually they're just wearing socks. The only time they actually wear like athletic shoes, and then they have bungee cords that attach them to the treadmill to keep them on it so they don't float off of it. But you can see he's putting his feet in all those handrails.
Yeah.
And they call them handrails. They can use them to work their way to get through the station, but usually their feet are what they're using, so they can use their hands. Wear those, and that whole helmet, the whole cap was getting wet. And he didn't have any hair to absorb that water, so it started coming down over his face, and he couldn't shake it off. So it was pretty tense there for a while. That's this room that we're in.
Right. What channel are you going to?
Trash and space computer. This is the big, and then Russia had 4 proton launchers.
Is this like basically a big Lego, and they can continue to add
Yes.
compartments and
They could.
rooms and stuff? Grow bigger and bigger.
And will see one of those. That's the Russian vehicle, how the astronauts get to it from the space station right now. And hopefully that will change next year with Boeing and SpaceX. So we can be launching from. So when you need to work on something, you could actually just tilt it down, work on it, and then push it back up. This is also the size of the sleeping compartments. So for 6 months, that would be your that size.
Oh, no way.
You have water recovery racks, so you have 85 to 90% of your urine, sweat, and condensation that builds up in the space station is being recycled and used again. So yesterday's coffee becomes tomorrow's coffee. And again, these are the different sizes.
And then in 10 seconds, look to your right. Perfect. Look straight again. Turn left completely. Turn left. More. Right there, right there. Hold this. Look towards the camera.
I don't know what all you know other than station, but I also know you've been working with Bert.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah,
I love
great.
Bert. So hopefully you know about Align. Yeah, it's the attractive look. Yeah, that's exactly it. It's a little.
Oh yeah.
It's
This
a
is
little.
like right at home.
Yeah, but it's a little. It works a little bit easier. Sit in once you get up there. You good?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I gotta tell you, I don't see Polaroids often anymore. You got it? And then we'll just head on out. You can crawl out. To the space station. So it's not necessarily very space. Good to know. You guys hungry?
Yeah.
All right.
Alright, let's switch. Wait.
This is the one you have.
I think one might be a little stronger than the other. Especially
Is strong is strong.
Yeah.
So that one doesn't have the patchouli in it, I don't think, right?
I don't know which.
Okay. I think that's the B.
This one is not as strong as
Yeah, it's lighter.
that.
That was better.
Natural ingredients.
Yeah.
I was so worried. I'm really chemically sensitive, and I was like, oh god, if he brings samples and I can't smell them, I'm gonna feel so terrible.
Yeah, so
I'm just going back and forth because
We're going to look at some,
Okay.
and you'll see how they are in here. We don't have any samples. And the cabinets, it's a nitrogen-filled cabinet, very pure type nitrogen gas. So we're protecting the surface, and it's transferred into the airlock some way, and then you're actually contaminating the sound. So we make sure that we're in a clean environment. Okay, Erica, we work on the rocks here. We break we put a rock in here. That's a rock actually in that bag, but I'm going to show you some.
Okay.
We break it with the hammer and chisel.
Right.
Then we break it small enough to put it in those small containers. We package them up, just crunch them up, and we took that Play-Doh and roll them with milk rock. Oh, Erica, you're so far away from us.
What are these things, by the way?
These are actually protect, we work inside of these gloves. But you cannot touch the sample with these gloves. I can go in the cabinet, but I cannot touch the which we call seatbelt rock. The little cube right here, north, south, east, west, top and bottom.
No, go ahead. Have you come on this side here?
No, I haven't.
Come over here, because from this side you can see into the slices a little better, particularly on that rock. You can see the
And I'm
crust.
trying to hang this little thing. Signed by the curator at that time, 1985, which was John Dietrich. And then the first thing we do, we weigh the sample and see what the database says. It has to be within that tolerance. I actually did this in 1985.
Wow.
And then you walk to the other side and you take the other picture, which of course would be T. On the other side of the bottom is top. Every time you are making a cut, little pieces fall off. Every piece that fall off, you have to.
If there's some way that you could develop a numbering system, you're not gonna change it every time, but there's something that kind of has that backstory
For sure.
along the same lines, I think that would be a
Come
really
along.
Keeping
Some-
track back into the cabin.
Yes, exactly.
Regular, that's what it looks
So,
like.
with the Poly 11, they collect. I don't know if you can see it. Can you focus this? And they already did. It was so hot with air, treated right over there.
I think, you might be able to.
Okay, keep us on track for time.
This is what you were looking at.
This is so cool. Yeah, this is amazing.
One that was in the other one was more smooth. This one is crystalline. This is what Erica was telling you. Came up from.
It looks like a jewel, right?
Yes. And now my favorite rock looks like that. Like that, so this does it together, so. Let's see.
So what are these in here?
These are the samples.
Oh.
This is Poly 11, 10084, coming 1736. You're not a sneeze. Well, let me move my.
Well, you're only looking at a small sample. If you had
Yeah,
a
it's
big
very small,
rock,
bigger, right, yeah.
it would be.
Can you smell this?
Oh my God, yes.
You know how I thought she could because we have.
I'm trying to like memorize it.
How would you describe it?